Happy Saturday, Flosstube. Hello, crafty friends. How's everybody doing today? It is Saturday, August 22nd. I've been checking in on the news lately and seeing all of the news about the forest fires, both in California and in British Columbia. And I hope you are all safe. I hope everybody is keeping safe and stay safe. Oh, what a year. What a year. I have been hard at work finishing all of the bags for the last shop update. I am almost done all of the sewing that I need to do. And I probably have maybe another hour to an hour and a half of sewing still left. And then I'm going to jump in with my packaging. Since I don't have my Sarah here this weekend to help me with the packaging, John and Nicholas have just headed out for a cup of coffee over. They've just walked over to my father-in-law's cottage to have a cup of coffee with him and a little visit and a chat. And so I thought it was a perfect opportunity for me to pop in a visit with you. So let me grab my knitting, because otherwise I won't be getting any other progress on any other whip other than my smalls exchange, which I did work on last night. I probably put an hour of stitching into that last night, so that felt nice. And my plan is to get after that on Monday and work, stitch the day away on Monday and get that stitching finished up. The thing with my work with the sewing, normally this amount of work I probably would have taken a couple of extra days and maybe sent it out in 2 batches, but because I have to be aware of the boat is leaving on Sunday with John on it, and he is my deliverer of all of my work. So I need to, if I don't get it out tomorrow, then it's another little while before I can send out people's orders. So that would annoy me. So need to get things finished up later this afternoon. So I am knitting on the same sock I was knitting yesterday, because that was the only time I spent on it yesterday as well. This is my Leo and Roxy yarn from a sock club. So I'm sitting a little further back, hoping that that's going to help my focus. So I guess this is going to focus not too badly if I hold it up just in front of my face here. Still working out the kinks with the focusing. I'm not tech savvy, camera savvy, lighting savvy, but I do love a good visit every day. So thank you for putting up with my less than stellar quality. So I mentioned I'm hoping to do, did I mention, or maybe that was just in my head, on Monday I'd like to do a longer video, because I feel like it's been a while since I was able to just have a good crafty chat that wasn't, sort of in between trying to get other jobs done. And I was wondering if you wanted to ask me some questions. So if you had any questions about how we do stuff here, anything at all about living here that you were curious about, wondering about. I sometimes get the odd question in the comment box below, and I try to answer them when I can. If I've missed a question, I apologize. But if you specifically would like me to chat a little bit about anything here on Monday, maybe not too technologically, like solar system, solar propane generator. I can answer like the basics of what we do, but if you need more in-depth information because you're considering doing something like that yourself, I'm happy for you to ask, but I would probably do, I have asked John if he would do another video with me, and he has agreed. I think he had fun last year doing that. So if you have a more sort of specific question about the nuts and bolts of our solar system and things like that, then I would probably do that in another video. But I've had questions about snowshoeing over the island in the winter, like what do we cook, what else? The water situation, drinking water, showering, so on and so forth. I've tried to answer, but usually if one person asks a question, there's usually a few people out there that are also curious to know. So I am happy to answer anything if you have any questions for me. It's a bit of a unique way of life up here. So that being said, there was something else. What was the other thing? Oh, the crafty cataloger left me, and I know that I know your first name and it has escaped me. I apologize in advance because you always leave me such nice comments, and I know that I know your name. Crafty cataloger left me a question yesterday that I thought was so fun because it dealt with, I talked about a pork chop recipe that I make with, you know, tomatoes and soy sauce and brown sugar. And I mentioned that I stick it in the oven in between 325 and 350 degrees. And her question was, hold on, that must be Fahrenheit. So, you know, you cook in Fahrenheit, because I am Canadian and we use the metric system. And what's really funny about that is that it's a well-known fact that yes, we do use the metric system, but when it's convenient and when it's something that we're used to, we very much so use imperial terms. So actually her question reminded me yesterday of this really funny flowchart that I had seen on Facebook a number of months ago. And in fact, I may have even shared it jokingly already on the Facebook group with Elin. I think I did. Excuse me. But I found it yesterday. I found it. I took a screenshot. I don't know who to credit this to. So again, this is not mine. This is not my own. And if anyone out there knows who it is, then I'm happy to give proper credit to, of course. But it is so funny. I'm going to pop it up on the screen right now. So what I'm going to recommend you do is hit the pause button if you'd like a good laugh about Canadian metric versus imperial system. So I'm going to pop that in right here. What is so funny about that is that it's absolutely true. Everything on that flowchart is absolutely true. That is exactly how we think. And it's really, really quite funny because, you know, it's true. And even when I make bags, I buy my fabric from Canadian suppliers in meters. American suppliers are in yards. But when I measure my measurements for making the bags, I measure in inches. I also sell them. The measurements in my specifications for the bag, I list them in inches. So it's really quite funny. But yes, when we cook, I turn my oven on and we factor in Fahrenheit temperatures. So, but our temperature outside is always in Celsius. So today it is 23 degrees Celsius with some humidity. So that usually raises our temperature a little bit, as those of you who live in humid climates know full well. So it's just one of those funny things. So thanks for the question, because that gave me a good laugh. So yeah, if you have any questions, be happy to answer them on Monday. So I fully expect Monday to be a nice, long, chatty episode. And I will also, of course, include some extra crafty goodness in there. Monday is the day I will have a Because Monday drawing on Monday for a new chart. And I think I'm going to do the Jeanette Douglas chart giveaways. I think I'm going to do those next Tuesday. So a little heads up if you would like to have a chance to win any of those 3 charts that I've got up. I'll be doing those on Tuesday. So I love this sock so much. I love all of the people that have been enabled to knit socks, because there are a few of us now in Flosstube Crafty Land who are knitting socks. They are rather addictive. I've toyed with the idea of taking Flosstube off of the front end of the title of my videos, because not that I want to disassociate with Flosstube or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's more that I feel like my videos are sort of taking on more of a general craft bent, you know, depending on what I'm working on at the moment. I'm also coming, you know, fairly frequently with these videos, so I don't know. It seems a bit like false advertising to have that Flosstube word at the beginning there when, you know, all the crafting that I'm sharing with you today is knitting. So, I don't know. What do you think? Does it really matter? I don't know. On Monday, since I will have a little bit more time, I'm going to dig through a couple of these bags, project bags that are here, and show you some of the other whips that are in there. I don't want to take them out today because I know full well myself that I will have trouble putting them back. I don't have time to do that today. I don't have time to go down that rabbit hole today. I have a little bit more time on Monday. So those bags that are right there, I'm going to be opening those on Monday and having a really good peek through those. I think that'll be fun. I already know it'll be fun. I don't need to think it'll be fun. I'm already excited about that. There was, oh my gosh. My friend, I have a friend on Facebook. I generally, my personal Facebook page, I don't use it very often, mostly because it's mostly a place for me to put, you know, personal stuff, usually for my mom and dad, or people in my friend circle who aren't crafters. And anyways, a friend of mine, a non-crafting friend of mine, tagged me in a post this morning, and it was this, let me look up the name of it so that I can tell you the right name. It's a YouTube channel called Doodle Chaos. Yeah, Doodle Chaos, and I will leave a link for that below. And what it was the first movement of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. And he had done this sort of line drawing doodles set to the music of that first movement of the Beethoven's Fifth. And it was worth every second that I spent watching it, because, you know, normally you get sucked into those Facebook videos and it's like, that's 5 minutes of my life I can't have back. This was so well done. So well done. But anyways, I'm going to leave a link to the YouTube channel where you can find this instead of having it on Facebook, because that way the actual designer of this very clever, it's 4.5 minutes long, and it is so well done. And I just I think you'll know what I mean when you get to the end of it. All I could think of was, this describes the year 2020 to a T. It's well worth a watch if you're, well, if you're in the mood for a smile. It's well worth 4.5 minutes. I'll leave a link in the drop down box below. So fun. All right, well, I better go. I really do have a fair bit of work still to do this afternoon, and I'd like to have a little bit of time with John and Nicholas tonight. Part of the reason why I'm going to have a little bit more time on Monday is because John is taking Nicholas back to the city with him tomorrow. So I have 3 or 4 days. I'm not quite sure when Sarah is coming back, but whoever is coming back next week will be bringing Nicholas back with them at that point. And so I have 3, possibly 4 days of time to myself with the dog and my work and my crafting and my coffee. And so that's why I'm already knowing that Monday's video is probably going to be quite chatty. So be prepared. But that also leads me to another question that I had. Cameron asked me a question in the comment section yesterday. And first of all, apologize for it being a personal question, to which case I answered, I don't mind personal questions as long as they're polite. And I mean, you know, I'd rather not discuss politics or religion, but you know, I think anything else, I'm probably going to be okay with questions. She asked, now I'm assuming Cameron was a woman, could very easily be a man, so I apologize. I'm going to assume. Cameron asked me whether I would be returning back to civilization at the end of the summer. And so that brings me to a little point of discussion that, you know, we've been discussing in our family. And, you know, I should probably mention to you, since you're going to clearly notice that I'm going to be staying here until probably the end of October. So Nicholas and I will be staying here, and we will be carrying on with John and Sarah as we have been for the last little while. We had to make the decision about Nicholas's school, as so many other parents out there at this point in our history, our time. And I know full well that that has not been an easy decision for any parent. And I know full well also that the very fact that I have the luxury to choose whether or not he can do online schooling, virtual school, or have to go back face-to-face schooling, I am well aware that that is an incredible luxury, that I am able to make that choice. I am able to work from home. He is an older child. My kids have been very used to spending summers here, not in isolation, but away from friends, away from, you know, it's a very different lifestyle. So they've kind of grown up with this. So the argument of it being good socially for Nicholas, you know, a few extra months up here spent with his grandfather and me, and, you know, Sarah and John coming up when they can, and being able to still remain virtually connected to his friends back in London. I think that for so many reasons at this particular point in time, it was just it's the right decision for our family. It's not an easy thing to discuss. So I hope that you'll be kind in the comments, because I know this can be a hot button issue. And just so that I'm very upfront about this, each family's decision is a very personal decision. And I would hope that we would all be kind to those who decide to send their children to school, even if they had the luxury to keep them at home. But for their family, sending them to school is the right thing to do. And or making the sacrifice of one parent staying at home and deciding to keep their child at school. This has been a monumentally difficult time. These decisions are not easy. And I think that we need to be kind and understanding that everybody is in a completely different situation than we are, and the decisions that they make, you know, we're all just trying to do our best. And so that's that's where we are at this point in time. So I will be continuing to record videos here. I will be continuing to do shop updates from here, run the business from here. Once Nicholas starts school, I will obviously be needing to spend more time, you know, guiding him once we figure out where things are. Again, none of us have done this before. This is going to be very different, apparently, from our sort of emergency learning that was happening in the spring. It is apparently going to be much more organized. Though I have to give his credit. His teacher at the time, at the end of Nicholas's grade 6 year, he had a gentleman teacher, and he was wonderful. He was really, really wonderful, and he did, you know, he did the best he could do with the situation. He himself had a 6-year-old child at home, and he did a great job, and I'm grateful to him that he was able to help Nicholas through such a challenging time. So, you know, we're all just doing our best, aren't we? So now I've told you our big news. So I will be staying here, and you'll be seeing a little bit more of the cottage. And I think Luna's glad too. Anyways, this is probably far longer than I thought I would do today. So I'm probably going to have to keep the editing very, very minimal. So if I'm clearing my throat, or if I'm scratching my face, or doing anything that's out of the ordinary that normally I would have edited out, I'll apologize in advance, and I know you'll understand. But I always like to get a chat in with you when I can. So I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. I hope you're well. And I hope that you are able to spend just a few moments digging your head into your stash pile and just enjoying it and taking a moment for yourself. Take care, everybody. Happy stitching. I will see you on Monday. Take care.